And we'll start with the new champions of the continent, PSG, who will likely be doing bits to add to their squad. A remarkable narrative being put forward by all the media types, all the rent pundits who get paid a fortune to be absolutely poxy at what they do, talking about how it's a breath of fresh air for football. It was so refreshing, and all these young Frenchmen coming through, and it was a story that was just fashioned out of whole cloth by lots of these media types. Of course, we know that they are incredibly at an advantage with their financial situation, and they pay top end money for players, and people dismissing 50 and 60 million as if it's nothing, which, it's remarkable stuff. But they are not going to sit still. They have a fantastic squad, sure, but there will be places that they'll think they can improve. And I would imagine one of those places, and this is why I'd imagine the Ibu Konate story was going around, would be to have a young, potentially generational talent at centre half. And because Marquinhos is such a solid citizen, has been such a regular for them, they will be looking at a guy now who's tailing away, and proper planning would suggest that they would get in somebody very good in that area. What areas have you heard about PSG moving in the direction of?
Yeah, they're not standing still at all. And in fact, they're already looking at moving a few out. So for people that know them, we talked about Goncalo Ramos, didn't he? And he's been linked with us that he will depart. There's no way he's going to be at PSG next season at all. Also, another winger they've got, Kangin Lee, he is set to depart at the same time as well. And yeah, Akilouche, I think it's pronounced, the young Monaco starlet. We've looked at him as well, but it would just, these young French starlets on the wing, where do they end up? PSG. I mean, it'll be some competition already with the Doués, the Barcolas, Dembele, who could obviously play false nine, but wings as well, Kavicha. So just another one is expected to do that move and add into the mix there. And Marquinhos, like you said, it almost comes down to, it'll be up to him now. Does he want to stay in PSG? Because they've hit the summit for them, haven't they? He's been there for so long. So he's got the option now. Does he want to take that Saudi bag? Does he want to continue? I'll be honest, there is a little bit of us wants him to continue and sign the renewal, isn't it? Because that would maybe just remove a little thing around Konate. We'll have to see. But PSG are definitely not standing still as the European champions. They will spend again.
You can be sure of that. We've already flagged up, in terms of the Saudi Arabian League, the interest in Luis Diaz. We've just spoken about Bruno Fernandes as a target as well. But there are other high-profile footballers being targeted for sure. And what's really interesting is what they're looking to do in terms of getting some managers in. Like, they're not looking at the lads who are the equivalent of the aging players looking for one last paycheck. They're looking for the very top end lads, and they seem to be targeting them. What's the story there in terms of the managerial stuff? And is there any other footballers that we haven't spoken about in this show that are currently being linked?
Yeah, this is their window now, isn't it? All this before it closes on the 10th of June, and the Club World Cup starts on the 15th. And I mean, the manager thing is absolutely insane, because Simone Inzaghi, who's, I know people will go, well, he lost everything, but he got into a Champions League final. He's got a great record there. You know, he nearly won the league, lost it on the last day. He actually wasn't even their first choice, even though the suspicion is he's going to sign like the biggest contracts in world football. We're talking like a 40 million a year deal. A lot have come with this article. Zidane rejected a 1-year offer of 100 million euros, and that was to take charge of Al Hilal.
Wow.
100 million euros for a 1-year deal to basically have mainly Zidane's name there, but he obviously wants to coach the French national team apparently and keep himself available for that. I mean, Luis Diaz, as we mentioned before, is well in the mix. Ronaldo, all the stories are coming out from Saudi Arabia that everyone knows Ronaldo is washed. All Al Nassr fans know that he's absolutely finished. You've seen all the chants, they want him gone type of thing. But all the reports are they're trying to do a deal with him because they want him as one of the faces, don't they, for the Club World Cup. So, you know, and their bid and everything on the sports washing side. I mean, there was even suggestions that they might offer him a deal where he gets more money, but there's like a break clause after 3 months, you know, after the Club World Cup, because Al Hilal were talking about him going there as well. It's just, honestly, they are not standing still at all. We've mentioned Bruno Fernandes, and slightly sounding, but a different player completely. Theo Hernandez at AC Milan, they're also talking to him. So they will put bags of money in front of people in the next week or so before this window one closes. This is their window, isn't it? They're trying to move things along quite quickly. But, I mean, 1 year, 100 million euros for a manager. Not even for a player, for a manager. That is what you're talking about. Like, they really could, just for this bit, shift, just completely be a paradigm shifter. It's insane what they're putting in front of people.
Yeah, hold on to grab a hold of your butts, lads, because that disruptor effect is going to be at its greatest in the week to come. And whether they're successful or not is another thing, but we could be seeing a couple of Liverpool lads leaving in that period of time. That's how real this is, because, as you say, you dangle that much money in front of anybody, they're going to say yes, or there's a high chance of it. Last story then, the Club World Cup is having a knock-on effect. Regardless of what you think of this as a competition, it is having an effect on the transfer market in a big way. What effects have you noticed?
I think that Trent's been the easiest one, hasn't it? Because it wasn't really ended up being a free transfer. It was, now we've made Madrid pay that lump sum to get him for the Club World Cup. And I've seen a few that it's interesting. Jonathan Tah has done the photos in the buying kit and done all the media. So he is an agreed free signing, quote unquote, right now. But Bayern are trying to get him for the Club World Cup. And Leverkusen are smartly gone, well, hold on. Liverpool just got Trent for 10 million quid. So we want some of that moolah if you want us to release him ahead of his contract date. So that's in negotiations as well. So Bayern are involved in that. Bayern are also now, because of these types of things where they may have to pay a bit extra, and looking, Leroy Sané, that was hokey cokies, doesn't it? Between he's gone, he's back, Peeny's dangling to different places now. And funnily enough, the only real offer that is solidly in for Leroy Sané now is that Champions League team of Tottenham Hotspur. Can you imagine if Leroy Sané ends up at Tottenham Hotspur? I don't think Leroy Sané will be too keen, personally, on ending up at Tottenham Hotspur, but it's just a strange storyline that right now, with Bayern looking for finance and balancing everything, the only club they seem to be in active negotiations with are Spurs, who were potentially looking at signing Sané and Matthias Tell on a permanent deal, but don't like the original terms. So we're talking about that. So Spurs and Bayern is definitely one to watch at the same time. But there will be ones that the next time we talk will be linked to the Club World Cup, and someone will go for stupid money.
Yeah. Those Spurs potential signings may not be playing for Big Ange from what we've heard during the week as well. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. We have gone long. It is now 6 minutes over our allotted hour that we usually give ourselves, but we had lots to talk about, and that's the way we like it here on the show. From myself, from Dave, we will be back with you very soon. But for today, thank you for listening. Thanks for contributing in the chats. Thanks for hitting the likes, and thanks for your subscriptions. We appreciate it massively. Get the word out there if you like the show, because we're going to be doing them as long as they are relevant. Good luck.